Oh man, what's going on? How is everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Hangout. We're doing it live. We're getting back in the swing of things. We're getting back in the YouTuber swing of things proper. I've launched some new merch, guys. I talked about it last stream and I did it for real. I did it for reals this time. And you know, it's summer influenced and I wanted to get it out early. I've got a new record coming out. No date yet, but we'll be doing some special stuff, so stay tuned for some new music too. What up, Graph? Hello. Pile on in here, guys. It's the Hangout. But I wanted to run through some of this merch, maybe show some of it off on stream, get a good merch plug in at the top of the show while everybody's piling in here. We've got, man, some interesting shirts. You know, they're all pink and blue and summer colors, guys. I've got a bikini available. The new line is called Vibes. / Vibes. We got a one-piece swimsuit. But my favorite thing available right now is we have a limited edition tie-dye. It's got Vibes embroidered on the shoulder, and it comes in a bunch of different colors. Man, I am pumped about this tie-dye. I've managed to get all of the t-shirts in the merch store down to $19.99 before shipping and handling. So as close to an old school walk into a shop at the mall price as you can get online is what I went for. I've also got a few other things I promised to put in the merch store that I've finally delivered on, guys. We've got my boyfriend's hoodie. It's a women's hoodie dress, extra large hoodie. You can wear it as a dress, but it says on it, my boyfriend's hoodie. Talked about making it, finally got it posted in the merch store. What up, Justin? I see you. I saw you creep in there. I saw you pop in.
I'm driving. I'll chat in a second.
Oh, right on. Got a few classic crop tops and stuff based on some of the merch art, or some of the merc art, excuse me. The booty shirt, my last record, Boutique Alchemy, the cover is this kind of reprint edit collage of an old ad with a lady's bum in it. So we've got the booty t-shirt. We've got the luxury deluxe t-shirt. It's a guy from an ad cracking some champagne. You can rep your boy here. And we've still got available the Merctus hood, the Merctus tee, the Merctus sticker. But we've had some supply chain issues with those, so, you know. Hey, Arianthy's almost done with the Johnny Depp timeline. Heck yes. We're going to roll out on a true crime in chat. We're getting back in the swing of things, baby. I'm telling you. We're going to start popping off some content. I feel pretty rejuvenated with true crime, having watched Netflix's the John Wayne Gacy tapes. Anybody who's got a Netflix subscription, if you haven't watched the John Wayne Gacy tapes and you're in any if any percentage of your mind is in any way interested in true crime, the John Wayne Gacy tapes series is a must watch. Let me tell you, they have details about particularly the victims, and it's the most thorough rundown of the John Wayne Gacy case I think I've seen on the television. Like, there's genuinely details that haven't been released to the public ever before that they show in that documentary. And they front loaded me as a kid with so much John Wayne Gacy and serial killer documentaries with really not too much info. Functionally, they just kind of recite the headlines from the case and then move on. This isn't like that. They get into John Wayne Gacy's psyche. They go there. They break down the victims that, have people around to talk about them. They get interviews from people who were still alive who worked the case. Some of the cops that were in that house pulling bodies out. It's intense. It's an intense series, but man, well worth the watch if you're in any way interested in true crime. But it's had me kind of rejuvenated into covering true crime again. Arianthe, it's undeniable the popularity of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case. It's I believe streaming still right now. And we're going to go into it. We're going to get into it, man. There's been a few different trials I wished I could have covered while I was gone, but nothing really that made me, break the hiatus early or anything like that. But this one's one of those that's like, let's get going. Let's see. It was done as I would do if I made the documentary. Go watch. Oh, right on Arianthe. Yeah, Arianthe. Yeah, the John Wayne Gacy documentaries, and it's just great. It's great. It's not like hella clown obsessed either. When you think John Wayne Gacy, there's like almost stereotypes to that story that come up, There's never a lame Chicago true crime story. That's true. Illinois really does seem to have some issues with just deviant crime. Deviant crime, man. And I want to hear from other people too in the comments. If you have seen it, if you want to see it, or when you do see it, come back and comment on this video. Let me know what you thought of it. How you feel about John Wayne Gacy by the end of it. Because here's the thing, like, I'm still torn on if he was genuinely a psychopath, but really, I mean, by the end of it, I do have to side with the cops, I suppose. If I was on the jury, I would probably have been right along with everybody else there, but outside of everything he was putting on, he had things that we would classify today as different, mental afflictions, but not anything that I think would particularly get you an insanity defense. I just mean, or an insanity guilty by reason of insanity. There was something more going on there, though. And I hope they scan the guy's brain. Maybe understand a little bit more about what that's about, Yeah. Arianthe made a really good point about the Depp case in the chat here. Depp case isn't about Depp. It's about breaking down a highly stigmatized topic of men can be victims too. Men can be victims too. It's something that's lost. And that's another thing I liked about the John Wayne Gacy tapes is it focuses on how in the 70s, if it was a man-on-man sexual assault, the cops just handled it a certain way and they didn't really seek justice for anybody. It was almost treated like two homosexual men doing what they would do, and it's like that's not the case with one particular gentleman and John Wayne Gacy, a guy that got away. And it just despicable how not just men can treat each other, but how, yeah. So we're going to get into it with the Depp case. I really do want to get into it and really put out there even further my thoughts and opinions on the infrastructure we have for the healthcare of men men don't really, our thoughts and feelings aren't necessarily accounted for, and that's our fault, in my opinion. We built people way before I was born had to build a culture of machismo. That's how you end up there. Lux is home!
What the fuck? Why are there bugs in my house?
I don't know why there's bugs in the house. It's moths.
No, there's a fly now.
What?
Yeah, I
Weird.
saw a fly.
Horrible. Horrible.
Hello.
Put this cat to work. Hello!
That cat ain't doing shit.
She ain't gonna kill anything.
Oh,
No, she's really not. A mango. What else did you get? Smells good in there.
my chicken tenders.
Oh, right on.
Because that's all I've eaten this week. I feel like.
Hey. When you gotta have chicken strips, you gotta have chicken strips.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Everybody says hello.
Hello.
Oh. And we have no plan for today other than chit chat, catch up with people, and plug the merch. Maybe scheme up some true crime and chats. I had a bit of a family emergency yesterday, but it all appears to be resolved so far now, which is nice. Shout out to Arianthe for helping me out through that. And Lux for being there for me. Good lord. But everybody, if you feel like it, if you're going to buy a tie-dye t-shirt, don't buy it for $30 down the road. Hit up your boy. Rep your favorite place to hang out. And, do it for $19.99. Don't do it for $30. I got you back. Oh, forgot to plug it. There's also a tie-dye hoodie for anybody living in a still cold place for some reason. Some people want hoodies year-round, so I'm going to leave the hoodies up. And it's also embroidered with a Vibes logo, if it'll let me zoom in on it. It won't let me zoom in on it. But check it out. That one's $60, but it's a pretty nice quality, guys. Pretty proud of the merch lately. Crop top, fleece women's hoodie. Buy that merch. Okay, let's hop over to the news, guys. Let's do what we do best here and jockey the news a little bit. I haven't caught up on the news in a minute. I haven't even popped open I did popped open the Explore page the other day, but let's check it out. First up, we got President Biden asked Congress to approve a 33, billion in additional support for the war in Ukraine. 33 billion to support the war in Ukraine. Let's check this out. This is from CNBC. President Biden asked Congress to approve 33 billion in additional support for war in Ukraine. Includes yeah, Twitter costs more than that war at the moment. Okay. Oh.
Do this, we have to do our part as well, leading the alliance. The cost of this fight is not cheap, but caving to aggression is going to be more costly if we allow it to happen. We either back Ukrainian people as they defend their country, or we stand by as the Russians continue their atrocities and aggression in Ukraine. Every day the Ukrainians pay for the price, and the price they pay is with their lives for this fight. So we need
33 billion. Isn't his approval rating at something like 33%? I know Biden's not doing so hot, and boy does he look like he couldn't really survive another term.
we contribute arms, funding, ammunition, and economic support.
The first person that says stimulus is getting voted in, yeah.
So they can continue this fight and do what they're doing.
Russia also halted natural gas shipments to Poland and Bulgaria. See, a lot of resources get moved through the Ukraine. And that's going to, yeah, keep causing tensions. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov recently said the threat of nuclear war. Ooh.
Against Russian aggression. And just as Putin chose to launch this brutal invasion, he could make the choice to end this brutal invasion. Russia is the aggressor. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Russia is the aggressor, and the world must and will hold Russia accountable.
Well, that's that, man. Whoa. That's, just gonna keep escalating, I assume, but it feels like it's starting to die down. I mean, again, I don't see this being World War III, and I hold firm on that. Russia warns if World War III is real. That's funny, that's right as I said that. Let's see.
Diplomat testifies at Capitol Hill and the budget hearings for a second
Russia apparently disagrees with my sentiment that it's not going to lead to World War III.
straight day today as members of the State Department are returning to the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv.
Let's turn now to Bree Jackson, who joins us with the very latest. Bree, good morning.
Hi, Evrod, Rhonda. Russia warns the threat of World War III is real if the West continues to provide weapons to Ukraine. Ukrainian officials say a third mass grave was found in Mariupol and claim civilians were forced to dig it in exchange for food and water. The UN secretary says the violence must end.
I came to Moscow as a messenger of peace.
After his meeting with Vladimir Putin, the UN says Russia's president agreed in principle for the Red Cross to help evacuate civilians from the besieged steel plant in Mariupol. Russia is still ramping up its attacks and rhetoric, saying the risk of World War III is real if the West continues to supply weapons to Ukraine.
Специальной военной операции.
As soon as it ends up in Ukraine, these arms and hardware become legitimate goals and targets for our military.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin pressed allies to send even more military support and heavier weapons, despite Russia's warning.
It's dangerous, and any kind of rhetoric like that, I think is unhelpful.
On Capitol Hill, the Secretary of State urges Congress to keep the flow of arms and humanitarian aid going.
I have to tell you, I felt some pride in what the United States has done to support the Ukrainian government and its people, and an even firmer conviction that we must not let up.
Helping Ukraine win this war and making sure Russia does not have the means to start future conflicts. Defense Secretary Austin says the U.S. and its European allies have formed a contact group. They'll meet monthly to discuss the strategy for Ukraine to defeat Russia. In Washington, I'm Bree Jackson for Local 4 News.
Well, Russia feels differently, but they feel differently because they're, I believe, dropping a threat. And again, it's like, this could lead to World War III, says the aggressor. And it's like, well, with that attitude, but I don't see it going there. Let's go back to the Explore page, guys. What else do we have in the news here? Oh. Disney's apparently causing some drama for Florida? Is that what's going on? Boy, Florida is always in the news. Florida has just become a consistent theme on Merc Radio.
Wait, what? I'm sorry.
Even after I take a break, come back, there's still a whole bunch of Florida news.
Oh, yeah. What else did you expect?
There's always just so much Florida news.
Yeah.
Let's get to your 7:30 headlines Thursday.
This apparently Disney says Florida can't lift its special status until $1 billion debt is paid.
Why? Because they suddenly don't want the locals to pay that off?
I don't
I
understand.
don't know what they were expecting when they threatened Disney.
Yeah, what do
They're
you...
like, okay, we can just move and you can have our debt.
Exactly. Like,
We don't
don't.
give a fuck.
Disney now owns, 75% of media or whatever.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Morning and new developments this morning in the ongoing battle between Disney and Florida lawmakers. Disney's special self-governing district is responding for the first time to this new law seeking to dissolve it. The district, which is called Reedy Creek, says the legislation cannot be enacted unless the state pays off all of its debt, which now stands at about $1 billion. The law, which Governor Ron DeSantis signed last week, would end the special tax district that was established back in 1967.
Oh, man. It is on like Donkey Kong. Okay. So let's see. We have another one from local Florida news, 24 seconds
Florida's
long.
move to strip Disney of its self-governing status might not be legal. Since the 60s, the company's operated under the Reedy Creek Improvement District. The district officials say the state can't dissolve Reedy Creek unless the district's bond debt is paid off. Right now, it has about $1 billion in outstanding debt. This is the first response from the Disney.
Why are all the bugs showing up right now? Is there an ant on my fucking...
I hadn't seen
I
a
don't
single
like
one
that.
before you came in here.
I don't like the ant part. That part's scary.
No, we can get the pest people for the building in here, I'm sure. We'll rewind that a little bit.
Self-governing
You're fine.
status might not be legal. Since the 60s, the company's operated under the Reedy Creek Improvement District. District officials say the state can't dissolve Reedy Creek unless the district's bond debt is paid off. Right now, it has about $1 billion in outstanding debt. This is the first response from the Disney-run district since lawmakers passed legislation to dissolve it.
Yeah, okay. Well. F you, Disney. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Florida, man. If it's not a theme park, it's an alligator or a missing person. There's always something. Apparently, Trump loves suing people. Ooh. All right. Where I'm from, neighbors, the state of Oklahoma. I currently have friends. I think, living in Oklahoma. So let's check out this headline. Oklahoma bill to restrict abortions heading to...
For this bill to go into effect, 2 U.S. Supreme Court decisions would have to be overturned. That's Roe v. Wade and Planned Parenthood v. Casey. Both those decisions have affirmed a woman's right to abortion.
One of the things we agree on in this debate
Terry Anthe, yeah.
is that we have a moral obligation, Madam Speaker, to protect every Oklahoman. But I would say one of the differences is when I say every Oklahoman, I mean every Oklahoman. And that includes those in the womb.
State Rep John Echols presenting Senate Bill 1555 on the floor today. If the Supreme Court were to overturn 2 landmark abortion cases, abortion throughout a pregnancy would be banned in Oklahoma.
What this bill does is make sure in the event portions of Roe versus Wade is overturned, we continue to have our pro-life laws.
The bill did pass by a wide margin, but not before debate from Democrats. The minority party is continuously criticizing.
That's ridiculous.
We may never see her make that effort again.
Lux is jumping at bugs. The cat's jumping at bugs. What is going on behind me? Oh, goodness. I don't know where they came from. Or what they're going for. We did just clean. Like, I don't... I blame one of these neighbors up or down. Straight up. You guys ever have pests in a building and you know it's not you, you know it's a neighbor, and they're just not saying anything?
Criticized the majority for not giving enough attention to the welfare of the baby once it's born.
Oh, we support this, but instead we're going to punish the person trying to give the abortion. We're going to punish the person trying to seek it. We're going to punish. Never help.
Supreme Court rulings for 2 cases that could impact access to abortion will be handed down this summer.
That's crazy. Yo, Arianthe, Oklahoma's losing its mind. Much like Texas was with this abortion stuff, man. I'm pro-choice. It's the lady's decision. She's got to deal with it. As someone who's a father and saw a lady splayed in twain, it's a pretty major experience. So I think that, you know, yeah. Anthony's moving in with Justin. You're like, oh, you don't like it in Oklahoma right now, Anthony? Is it rough? There's things about Oklahoma I like, but I have no reason. I don't particularly care for its overall vibe. They should vote.
It's a nice place to, like, go visit and see some stuff. But yeah, like you said.
Yeah. There's something about, like that's where, like Winniewood's there, so you can go. You used to be able to go check out Joe Exotic's tigers and stuff like that too. Like, Oh yeah, Arianthe, Justin. Apparently you don't know it yet. Arianthe's moving in with you. She's done with Oklahoma. But surely there's a plus side. One time I ate a mushroom chocolate that came from Oklahoma. That's interesting that you could just go buy those there at certain places. I don't know if that's legal, but there were mushroom chocolate, and it seemed like it was a legal.
What?
Yeah, I bought mushroom chocolates from Oklahoma. Unless it somehow came from Colorado into Oklahoma, but that shit was at like a gas station.
I wonder if it's something that you can get at the res if you are a member.
Oh, that makes sense. And they're just not carding. They're just like, you're good. Have this and some gas or whatever. It was, yeah. But it was really good. They were really good chocolates. It was like in a Super Mario themed thing, which is, pretty cool. It was a trip for sure, and they were definitely, psychedelic mushrooms. It definitely psilocybin in there. As someone who's just, eating the source material raw, you could tell it was there, but well done, like well blended in. You couldn't really. I've had some mushroom chocolates before where it's like some hippies made them, and it's not so great.
They just melted chocolate over the whole thing.
Over the whole thing, yeah. You're like, I'm just eating mushrooms. But this was straight up like they had blended, like, I don't know, food processed into powder or whatever. They did it right, and they were good. So that seems cool about Oklahoma, but again, unless you're somebody who wants to like potentially microdose mushrooms, I don't know if it's the spot for you. I think it'd be a cool option to explore for like an antidepressant route, like just a microdose a day, if you're somebody who has issues with serotonin. I wonder if it helps with coming out of serotonin withdrawal. I would imagine it would. But I know if I saw one near me, I'd be like, well, that's what I'm gonna next couple of days off. This is what's going down. We're doing this, going to a concert or something. Let's see. We have some news from Mississippi from special guest neck of the woods. Gunman allegedly kills 4 in Mississippi shootings. So we have some true crime on the press. See down here we have a railroad car engulfed in flames after shelling. Looks like it's from Ukraine. Teen accused of killing Wisconsin girl. We have a few different really tragic true crime situations. I thought about doing one about this, about the family that's in the news right now, the little girl who was killed by a 14-year-old boy. Turns out the 14-year-old's boys. His father's a pedophile, I believe, or something. I don't know. Let's check this out. 4 people Wednesday in separate incidents across 2 neighboring Mississippi cities. Reynolds fled in one of the victim's cars to nearby Gulfport, where he shot and killed William Waltman, 52. It's a bunch of 50-year-old people. This is wild. And Andy says she's on ADHD. Antidepressants to 0 for you. Yeah, antidepressants messed me up, I think, overall. People need them, and I probably still need them, but I prefer life without them, I think. Fresh out of serotonin withdrawal, so we'll see. He stole a car belonging to the city of Gulfport. This was quite the spree. Jeremy Reynolds, 32. They killed a whole bunch of people that were like 50 plus. He was found dead at a convenience store from unknown circumstances. But I wonder what his actual cause of death was. What? I wonder if he maybe went into the bathroom and you think maybe overdosed or something? I wonder why it was reported on like that. I wonder if someone like Jameson has ever heard about something like that in the past, reported on, like where they don't. But who goes on it? Like, how does that happen where there's a spree killing? He ends up at one location, kills another person, and then ends up in a bathroom at like a gas station, deceased. What happened? How does that happen? Unknown circumstances. Sorry, I keep looking at Lux when I'm surprised. He's the closest human in the room. Oh, there's a story. It's a gunman in Mississippi went on a spree killing and was found dead in a gas station of unknown circumstances.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, how does that even happen? What are you hiding? There's probably something more to that. We know about Russia cutting off the natural gas. Ooh, here's a little California news. You know, we're out here in the West Coast now, so I've been trying to pay more attention to things happening in the West. You know, on the West Coast. We're on a little bit of a different time here now that daylight savings has rolled around again, so I'm 2 hours behind everybody back home in, you know, the Southeast. So it's we flow at a different pace out here, it would seem. A little bit different news cycle.
Well, now to an unusual position. Lawmakers in Sacramento find themselves in how to put tax dollars from a swollen budget surplus back in the pockets of Californians. Ashley Zavala is in Sacramento with the latest.
State officials say so far so good on cash collection in California this year.
The cash receipts that we've been taking in since January have been positive.
I don't see how anything financial could look good in California this year. Like, apparently cash receipts are looking good in California, but I mean, there's so much stolen cash floating around that state that
Who's really wanting to use bank accounts anymore?
Well, the underworld certainly doesn't. And I mean, that's where a good chunk of cash for our nation probably is sitting, right? The West Coast with some of these gangs.
Report from the Department of Finance, officials said they're about $17.35 billion over what the governor projected so far this fiscal year. With tax processing underway following this week's filing deadline, it's looking more and more likely California's budget surplus will be significantly larger than the $45.7 billion the governor projected in January. A new report from the Legislative Analyst Office shows the state could see another $33 billion to $39 billion in unanticipated revenue from personal income, corporation, and sales taxes. But the Department of Finance says exactly how much the surplus could be is still being calculated.
One of the things to remember is that roughly, and this is a ballpark estimate, roughly half of whatever that surplus amount is going to have to go off of the top, go to two areas: set aside under the Constitution for education spending, and for a portion of that to be set aside for reserves, as it should be. So we're still fine-tuning our projections right now so that we won't know for a couple of weeks how far above those January projections we are.
With the extra money, the legislature and governor will have to deal with the appropriations limit, which restricts the amount of tax revenue the state can spend. This also gives them the option to send rebates back to taxpayers.
Be cool. Everybody get an extra California, get a little fat return
Something the
in
legislature and
California,
governor
which that's nice. That's nice that there's. I mean, I have a feeling that's just some good press to maybe bounce that state back a little bit. But man, is that going to take some work? Finland to decide on NATO membership. Interesting. Finland and Sweden warmly welcome to join NATO.
Let me also add to the question about Finland and Sweden that they actually speak.
It is a time of border blending and union, hopefully not for the cause of a third world war. Still hopeful it's not.
To the
Gonna be
Finnish
bad.
president later on today, and I expect that we will both address the issue of a potential Finnish application for NATO membership, but also the need to find arrangements in this interim period so there is no uncertainty about Finland and Sweden's right to choose their own path. Because this is fundamentally about the right of every nation in Europe to decide its own future. So when Russia tries in a way to threaten, to intimidate Finland and Sweden from not applying, it just demonstrates how Russia is not respecting the basic right of every nation to choose its own path. So we are in dialogue with Finland and Sweden.
Oh, snap. Yo, the FTC is scrutinizing this Twitter deal for Elon Musk. Elon Musk is being about it, too. He's full on the whole freedom of speech, centrist, it's we're fucked forever train. And, you know, really bashing anybody of a liberal mindset or pretending like anybody who's left-leaning in any way is fully woke liberal, which is hilarious. A hilarious concept. And a generalization, which I believe the other side hates.
Scrutiny in Washington?
Just as much as the woke liberals. So
getting scrutiny here in Washington. Already we knew that the SEC was going to be taking a close look at those disclosures and really drilling down into how the deal came together and all the information that Twitter's going to provide to shareholders before they do the tender offer.
anyway, I just read that, Arianthe. You want to go not just Cali, but further than Cali West. Where we're so wait, if you're going further west than Cali, what you talking about? Hawaii? Are we talking the east? Because the Earth ain't flat. We on a globe. You go too much further than Cali, it'd be more convenient to go east, probably. But I would love to see Japan and Hawaii.
So this happens to involve his failure to comply with antitrust rules. We found out about that initial 9% stake. Is this trouble for Elon Musk, or is this a bump in the road?
You know, the Federal Trade Commission is interesting since the current administration's been taking a very expansive view of its authority to look at deals. Certainly, they'll also probably be looking at concentration and market power. It will be really interesting to see how they define the market here for social media and Twitter. But beyond that, the deal has baked in a closing, you know, it was very vague sometime this year. So I think that they anticipated that regulators were really going to scrutinize this.
I know, Lydia, you cover the SEC very closely, and there are questions about the SEC's involvement in this deal as well, and whether Elon Musk delivered his filings on time. Will we be hearing scrutiny from the SEC next?
You know, I don't want to speculate on what the the SEC is going to do on that in terms of an investigation, but certainly in terms of reviewing the proxy, they don't have the authority to block this deal from going through, but just given the history of the SEC and Elon Musk, it seems likely that they are going to look at the timing of disclosures, going to
Yeah, they're going to be up his butt. They're going to be up Elon Musk's butt, dude. It's very much on like Donkey Kong. Let's see. Teen accused of killing Wisconsin girl from AP. Body of Alanya Lily Peters was found Monday along a walking trail a day after she went missing.
Attorney Newell, did you have any arguments on bond for this matter?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is requesting a $1 million cash bond with the condition that he have no contact with any juveniles and not possess any dangerous weapons. The state understands the state is asking for a very high cash bond for a defendant of 14 years of age.
A prosecutor says the 14-year-old boy accused of killing Lily planned the attack, knocking her down and choking her before essaying her.
The protection of the community also is necessary in this case, given his statements, once again, regarding his intentions, and also his statements regarding the fact that when he did get off of the trail, punched the victim in the stomach, knocked her to the ground, essentially strangled her, hit her with a stick before strangling her to the point of death before he then sexually assaulted her. Based upon all that, the state believes that a $1 million cash bond is appropriate with the two conditions outlined.
Teen is charged with first-degree intentional homicide and first-degree SA. Yeah. T's for Lily. It looks like there's a few different
Concerned that this could be a further threat if
charities.
the individual was no longer in custody. The court will order a $1 million cash bond with the conditions that the defendant not contact any juveniles and have no dangerous weapons.
They've hung purple ribbons in Chippewa for Lily, which is beautiful. Beautiful when a town comes together like that. Let's see. What do we have here from Graph in the chat? You/we are free to speak freely here in America, but when your speech is unlawful, why shouldn't you/we be held liable? I don't get it. What do you mean by unlawful speech? That's why we have, you know, if what you've said is libelous or has affected somebody's financial situation in any way, you can take them to court for, as you've seen with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, defamation or libel. I don't see how, you know, when your speech is unlawful, you are held responsible. If you're talking about day-to-day conversations, well, it's because it doesn't affect anybody where it matters in this country. And, you know, if you do feel defamed or lied about, sue them. There's perfectly, you know, prove it. Welcome back, Debbie. It's Debbie. Debbie's here, which means hopefully we have some UK news just kind of popping here. Let's see what we got here. Let's type in UK news. What do we got? Oh, I'm not trying to click on Sky News. Get out of here. Why isn't that going away?
Within the last hour or so, it's been...
Boris Johnson reacts to Putin banning UK MPs from Russia. Ooh, does he give a full, like, by Jove? No, not in my England, I don't think. What? The English will be allowed in Russia.
Reported that some 287 members of this House have been...
For diplomacy.
...the Russian state. Now, I'm sure nobody here is rushing to change their summer holiday plans, but perhaps the Prime Minister will assure us that he will continue his excellent relationship with President Zelensky and continue to provide the Ukrainian people and the Ukrainian military with the support that they need.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I think no disrespect to those who haven't been sanctioned when I say that all those 287 should be regarded as a badge of honour. What we will do, Mr. Speaker, is keep up our robust and principled support.
It's almost Savile-esque, his sense of humor, but funny fellow, isn't he?
For the Ukrainian people and their right to protect their lives, their families, and to defend themselves. That's what this country is doing, and that has the overwhelming support, I think, of the whole House.
Final question, Daisy Cooper.
So they're pressing on y'all. They're pressing on the British hard, Putin is. Okay. So it's on. It's on. Whoa, this is from 3 hours ago on Channel 4. Channel 4, are you going to allow me to do this?
Pop out inside your mouth. Nice tight
Debbie pays her TV bill or whatever it is.
When you take a deep breath in,
the TV tax.
Someone strangling you and then just slowly crushing your windpipe.
16-year-old Reese Connor's asthma is so severe, it has nearly killed him.
Felt like...
How's your breathing there, Debbie? Is the air quality rough on the islands? I would imagine it can't be the best all the time, and I do know that historically winds can happen that, blow exhaust that should go off into the ocean back onto the island. So that's oof.
A really sharp pain on my chest on the left side, and then it gets worse and worse and worse. The pain gets more intense, and then eventually I just dropped to the floor, and I couldn't breathe anything, and I got rushed to hospital, and my mum was tapping my face and I wasn't waking up at all. That's the one that stays in my head the most out of all of them.
When and where the air is polluted, Reese knows about it immediately.
5 p.m. definitely, rush hour. Everyone's coming back from work or something, and it's just, it's not good.
And you feel that as a direct consequence of the 5 p.m. traffic?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. Definitely, 100%.
So I think the evidence is very clear that air pollution increases the risk that a child might get asthma in the first place. And for people who have asthma, prolonged exposure to air pollution can increase the risk of asthma attacks and make a child's symptoms worse, even when they're having a good day.
Debbie has to deal with dust from Mount Etna in Italy, in the UK. Yeah. I'm watching there's Channel 4 3 hours ago dropped this story about 70% of UK homes breathing unsafe air. This new model they've built suggests. The UK's having air quality issues. In kind of a pretty bad way, it would appear. I know that asthma rates have gone up and people with breathing issues are, stay on the steady incline there since, since what, Churchill? So
when they're well. So the impact is profound, and we know that severe asthma and air pollution can be a fatal mix.
New modelling from Imperial College London, commissioned by Clean Air campaigners and shown exclusively to Channel 4 News, reveals in detail never seen before air pollution across the entire UK. The numbers are stark.
Oh, is London really
the
bad?
Suggests the air at
What I love about where we're at is it does seem like the air quality for the metropolis that we're in, the air quality seems pretty nice. Like our air quality stays pretty decent. There's not too many factories, it's not clustered, there's not a whole bunch of winds that force things to kind of circulate into us, Like everything just kind of goes into the desert and gets eaten by the sand, and it's how it feels. It's nice and dry and clean air. For the most part.
70% of British addresses is so dirty, it breaks current World Health Organization guidelines for 3 dangerous pollutants.
What up, Michelle? How's the baby?
At least one of these guidelines.
Been a minute, Michelle.
There are places throughout the UK that have more localized air pollution than previously we'd expected. So
tell us how that baby's doing.
traditionally would associate air pollution with cities, but maybe they'll associate air pollution more with smaller towns and you know, more rural areas than previously they had.
Looks are deceptive. The green idyll of a bird reserve outside Leeds. Yet this new data shows many
Why did he say that? Of a bird reserve.
places like this could be toxic. Do you think the air's nice around here?
I don't think so. Different, Merc?
Yeah? Yeah. Yeah, I do.
It's actually
Bad.
really polluted.
Is it? Really? Oh, wow.
Does shock me.
Oh,
I know
snap.
that.
Michelle's baby started crawling. They're baby proofing.
Aww,
Yep. It's on. It's on like Donkey Kong.
Considering where you're at.
That's a real concern.
Baby's on the move now.
I'm a driver in an electric car just to do my little bit.
The air we breathe is full of invisible microscopic particles which can be dangerous. PM 2.5 and PM 10 are minuscule, many times smaller than the width of a human hair.
Oh.
They come from cars and lorries, power stations, wood and coal burners. The reason they're dangerous is they can lodge deep inside our lungs. PM 2.5 is so
I don't want to know how much of that I have inside of me. I don't even want to, just from, I don't know what all's in me from just smoking different stuff throughout the years, man. I've smoked leaves I've found on the bottom of a tent. I've smoked all kinds of stuff. That's unfortunate.
can even make it into the bloodstream.
Man, I don't like hearing about things that can hit lungs.
Can reduce life expectancy and cause lung and heart disease. Then there's nitrogen dioxide, which comes not just from cars and lorries, but also from the gas boilers in our homes. Prolonged exposure can reduce the capacity of a child's delicate growing lungs and also cause asthma attacks.
In the London smog of 1952, 4,000 people died within a few days.
The thick, choking smog that used to cling to many cities across the UK may be gone, but today's clearer picture still doesn't paint a healthy one.
So right here, we're breathing some of the worst, most polluted air in the UK.
Humphrey Mills was angry. The public had so little access to air pollution data, he commissioned the new imperial modelling and created a postcode checker so people could demand change.
The awareness levels of air pollution are so low. You've got parents pushing their babies and prams up 6-lane A roads. You've got kids playing in playgrounds or at schools on major arterial routes. You've got homes for the elderly and new housing projects being built on virtual motorways. And this is just being allowed to happen.
There's no doubt air pollution is falling, thanks to things like low emission zones and transition to net zero. And the government says it has ambitious plans to continue the reductions. But take PM 2.5. British proposals are still twice what the WHO now says is safe, as the evidence linking dirty air to poor health mounts.
This is the road that ultimately contributed to my late daughter getting asthma in the first place.
After Ella Kissy Deborah died from an asthma attack in 2013, she made grim legal history. Last year, a coroner ruled one of the causes was air pollution.
The government needs to take this matter very, very seriously. And the coroner was very clear, unless the air is clean, more children like my daughter are going to die. We now know that air pollution is a public health crisis. And the reason why I say that, since Ella died, the number of children who die from asthma, that has not changed.
From London to Liverpool and beyond, and the many green spaces in between, new modelling suggests the UK is breaking World Health Organization air pollution guidelines on a massive scale.
Came in zone. Well, we did ask for an interview with the Environment Secretary, but he wasn't available. So earlier I spoke to World Health Organization.
That's unfortunate. Debbie says in the chat here, I was watching a documentary a few days ago and archaeologists found a mass grave of animals that had died from volcanic ash from Yellowstone 1,000 miles away. Whoa. Yeah, very possible, man. When the last time that thing blew must have been bad, I would imagine. A lot of volcanic activity. Also something that stays on the minds of everybody, all of you murkies out there? I hear a lot about volcanic activity, and I like hearing about it. Geography fascinates me.
Organization Director Dr. Maria Neira. I began by asking her whether Britain is unusually bad compared to other nations.
Well, first of all, we are very happy that there is such a monitoring and control of the air quality and information to the citizens. I think it's very important for them to know what are they breathing. Unfortunately, the levels are very high, that's true, but WHO recently produced a report where we're saying that almost 100% of the global population is breathing air that is not respecting the proposed standards by the World Health Organization.
I wonder why that message isn't getting through. I mean, I wonder why this should be news to people when they breathe this stuff and their kids are breathing this stuff every single day of their lives.
You are absolutely right. We need to do much more to make sure that everybody understands that the quality of the air we are breathing is important, that air pollution is causing more than 7 million premature deaths every year. This is taking quality of our life. This is costing a lot to the health system.
Over to you at the WHO. You've become very good at messaging in the last few years of pandemic. Why aren't you messaging more about this issue?
Well, I think we are doing it as much as we can. We are issuing this.
Debbie says in the chat, referring to current volcanic activity, there's more than usual at the moment. Northern plate is jammed, expecting big earthquake around the circle of fire somewhere. Yeah, I bet you.
Which are very ambitious, but are
You're
the
right,
ones that need
probably.
to protect the health of the people. We are issuing information about the levels of air quality in the different cities around the world.
Fear worked pretty well in the pandemic to force us to do things that we wouldn't have done otherwise. So frighten us about this. Realistically, how bad is this for our health? What does it do to our bodies?
Well, it's very bad. It's affecting our respiratory system for sure. So causing lung cancer if you are exposed for a long time, or chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, asthma, and of course they can now go to the bloodstream and then cause a stroke and cardiovascular problems. The issue in terms of public health is a real emergency.
Can you put a number to this? I mean, does the WHO have a number of how many people are killed around the world every year because of this?
Okay, 7 million premature deaths. 7 million people that are losing their life because they are exposed to these high levels of pollutants. In addition to that, you have millions of people, years
a lot of people.
Quality of life that they are losing because they have chronic diseases, but it's a kind of invisible killer.
Debbie predicts a earthquake around Japan at some point soon. I would say that'd be so unfortunate, didn't they? They suffered an earthquake within the last decade, didn't they? Maybe a decade ago.
So give us a checklist of 3 things that you think need to be done and done soon to bring that horrible number down.
Okay, keep informing people about those levels of air pollution because they need to protect themselves by putting pressure on the government. Stop burning fossil fuels immediately, as soon as possible. And then look at the traffic in your cities and go for a more sustainable public transport systems.
Where would you put the health crisis caused by pollution?
Heck yeah, Michelle.
To all the other health crises facing planet Earth right now?
Well, clearly it's the biggest environmental health threat. So this is the environmental factor that is causing most damage to our health, and is certainly among the top 5 responsible for morbidity and mortality globally.
Dr. Maria Neira, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right. UK-US talk, trade, shared values, and a free trade deal. So we're trying to find a new UK trade deal.
He pretends the economy is booming, but where...
Someone called Boris Johnson an ostrich in the house? Someone called Boris Johnson an ostrich in the house? Let's hear this. Yeah, let's see how this goes. What?
real world,
An
our
ostrich.
growth is set to be slower than every G20 country except one, Russia. And our inflation is going to be double the rest of the G7. Does he think that denying the facts, staring him in the face, makes things better or worse for working people?
Mr. Speaker, the facts are, as the IMF has said, that the UK came out of COVID faster than anybody else. That's why we had the fastest growth in the G7 last year. This government and our Chancellor cut taxes on working people. The national insurance contribution went down, Mr. Speaker, by an average of £330.
He's an ostrich, perfectly happy keeping his head in the sand. Working people are worried about paying their bills. They're spending less and cutting back. That's bad for business and bad for growth. Working people are looking for help. But this week, millions will look at their payslip and see a tax rise with his fingerprints all over it.
Well, see what would have happened if we would have kept Trump around? Lordy. Lordy, lordy, lordy. All right. You know, we have a bit of news from our boy Alex Jones. Alex Jones has gone bankrupt. And, you know,
Now you gotta be clear. He's not following Proto.
Alex Jones isn't following Proto. He's bankrupt. Isn't divorce a bitch? Man, ain't divorce a bitch? It will leave you bankrupt, crazy, big uncle energy. You know what I'm saying? It's the worst. It's the divorce is the worst. But I thought we could see if InfoWars is even still a thing since the hiatus. And just see, he's got a great photo of Biden right off the top. So the website's still up, domain still owned, he's still pushing vitamins. Speaking of pushing vitamins, boom, we got t-shirts for sale, guys. We have a whole new merch line. It's called Vibes, and it's summer influenced, and you should check it out. I know I'm going to get one of these tie-dyes because they're limited edition and pretty dope. So I don't want to be the only one in this drip. You guys be sure to check this out when you go to...
I want so much of that.
When you have 1999 just burning a hole in your pocket, be sure to hit up your boy and rep your boy. I've designed all of this. There's a special line. I got a couple of different kind of crossovers with some other artists and visual kind of aesthetic vaporwave artists. And we've got a summer line, man. It's called Vibes. That's probably that's the name of the clothing imprint right now. So check it out. Check it out. We've still got the classics on here. Got the Merctus tee, the Merctus hoodie, the Merctus sticker. All still available. Anyway, pop back to Alex Jones. Let's see what he's got here. We got a banned video.
Senator, what I'm glad that I didn't hear in that litany is a complaint about the voting rights work that we've done, about the clients in the community.
Are you concerned that Charity Watch gave you an F, that you had to pay $3.4 million in response to defamation lawsuits, that you've been criticized, your organization's been criticized as a fraud and a con job, and that you work for an organization who says it's their goal in life to completely destroy their opponents? None of that gives you any pause.
Senator, again, my work with the Southern Poverty Law Center has been to uphold the constitutional...
Let's check in with Michelle here. What was this, Michelle? I won't apologize for putting my daughter and husband first before my former friends. I am not that girl anymore who stays out all night with her girls and doesn't care about anyone but herself. It's okay to be a mom. Oh, yeah, Michelle. Hey, when you become a parent, you see that happen. Just growing older, you lose friendships, people come and go. I'm sorry you're experiencing that, Michelle. It's always tough when you deal with that. I've been through it. I've been through it. I've left entire artistic endeavors because of, you know, to care for children that weren't even my children. So I understand completely what you're dealing with. You know, I've lost friends because of that move. It happens. And you kind of see once you have a child who's actually your friend, you know, people, Chief, Arianthe, Justin, and I, you know, we've been friends since childhood, and having kids and getting married and growing older just makes us happier for each other. And that's your real, you know, that's your friends, the people who like to see you blossom and grow and change. And, you know, humans are really complex creatures.
The products so I can.
We back to a vitamin ad, boy. We got this survival shield. What do you think survival shield does? What does it say here? Take your cellular function to the next level. Survival shield X2. You know, I really don't want to like
stand against these people.
As somebody who has an autoimmune disease and has incredibly aggressive white blood cells already, I'm good. I'm not trying to throw any wood in that fire, I guess. I'm not
sponsored by Soros or the UN or the New World Order. I am sponsored and funded by viewers and listeners like you, and I know we're going to win in the end. But the fight, the key part of the fight is now. Infowarstore.com. All right, Paul Joseph.
Why I was down with him talking about that was, you know, he's bankrupt, man. I got a feeling it's because of the divorce and the Jan 6th Schminschmer action.
Watson from the beautiful countryside of England takes over in T-minus 60 seconds, and then the War Room in 55 minutes today.
Paul Joseph Watson, guys. He's probably still sharing stupid shit on Twitter. The amount of influence he has on people unnerves me, only because, you know, there's a few different generations out there living right now that paranoid rhetoric and doomsaying really appeals to them and really confirms a lot of biases for them. And I worry about that. And I don't think people who are younger, like Paul Joseph Watson, realize the type of damage they're doing by what they perceive as feeding their fan base. And while I can't blame them for feeding a fan base, I can blame them for doomsaying and just leaving people feeling low. I feel like you can appeal to the older generations and also leave them feeling optimistic. That was one of the draws for me of the show Community. Community is one of those shows where they can cover a fairly heavy topic but leave you feeling optimistic by the end of an episode. What is this graphic? Summit News. Is that Paul Joseph Watson's stuff? Did InfoWars have to sell? They're broke as hell now.
News Studios.
We can't play any of that. That was legally as much of the Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin as you can hear. Let's give him a minute to pop in. Let's check in with our boys.
Happening to Twitter over the past few days, despite the fact, as we know, the actual takeover itself is not yet completed. They're still desperately trying to block it and failing. But Elon Musk's takeover of Twitter will take 3 to 6 months. But we're already seeing massive changes on Twitter itself. The black-pilled nihilists who suggested that nothing would change have been proven wrong already. Again, despite the fact, as I just explained, that the takeover isn't going to actually go through and be rubber stamped for 3 to 6 months. I've personally received about 22,000 new followers on Twitter over the past few days. That on a platform that's basically been, for anyone on the right, conservatives, completely stagnant for a number of years now. And is that because they've reduced or they've lifted the suppression algorithms? Are they digitally burning documents, as people have speculated? We had this article a couple of days ago. Twitter goes on internal lockdown to prevent woke employees taking revenge for Elon.
I don't think they were guilty of like specifically suppressing conservative voices. I think if they had a certain amount of user complaint that there are HR standards you have to meet. I mean, you know, there's when you're dealing with a company like that that's micromanaged like Twitter was.
Really rushing back to Twitter in such huge numbers over the past few days. In fact, Ben Collins reported on the day Elon Musk announced his Twitter takeover, 200,000 Katy Perry followers deactivated. 200,000 deactivated. Now, of course, a lot of the Katy Perry followers are just normies. They're not necessarily political. Is that bots? Are they cleaning up a back-end bot system that was gamed to the benefit, that was rigged to the benefit of leftists and to the detriment of conservatives, given that as people like Donald Trump Jr. are reporting tens of thousands of new followers over the past few days, leftists, Rachel Maddow, those kind of types, are reporting losing thousands of followers in the past few days. And we ask the question, is Twitter burning the evidence by unshackling conservative accounts? A lot of people are noting that their debooster, their ghost ranking, which you can check on certain websites, has been lifted in the past few days since this takeover was announced.
If you got 'em, smoke 'em. We're more than an hour deep now. We can be a little more foul-mouthed, a little more loose.
But again, not completed. Conservative Twitter users have noticed a massive uptick in followers.
Just a reminder that what's in my water pipe is absolutely recreationally legal where I am.
And engagement following Elon Musk's Twitter buy. And of course, part of that is explained because it's in the news. You will get a lot of sign-ups simply because Twitter has been the big news story now for the past week. But leftists on the platform are experiencing the inverse, prompting some to wonder if the company is undoing evidence that it rigged the reach of people it deemed to be undesirable. Now, of course, right up until 2018, as I said, use myself as the example, constant growth in Twitter followers to the point where
I think we've set enough of a legal precedent that if you want to litigate against what someone said on Twitter, Facebook, the YouTube posts, if you want to litigate against somebody and claim, you know, they're being libelous or they've defamed you, you can still do that on those platforms. So again, I don't really see what the point is of, you know, even being upset with Twitter for having their own standards. They are a company though, so like I don't allow a certain type of speech on my platform.
Election rigging, given that they did it again in the year of a midterm election and then intensified it right before the 2020 election. Are they covering their tracks? Well, Twitter said in a statement, quote, "We've been looking into recent fluctuations in follower accounts. While we continue to take action on accounts that violate a spam policy which can affect follow accounts, these fluctuations appear to largely have been a result of an increase in new account creation and deactivation." Is that really the case? Again, I got 10,000 new Twitter followers yesterday. Are there 10,000 conservatives who have come back to the platform simply because Elon Musk has announced he's taken it over?
Potentially, yes, Paul. Like, yes, potentially. Dude has huge reach. Like, that's not an unreasonable number. Yeah, 10,000 people. Yeah.
Again, not everybody is believing that explanation.
Which is stupid, or they're used to low numbers.
Then, of course, you have the flip side of the equation, which is people being punished, conservatives being punished by woke Twitter employees. In revenge for Elon Musk's takeover, we have this headline out of Information Liberation. Are Twitter employees taking vengeance on their enemies before Elon Musk eventually cleans house? They note, for example, that Gab, the big competitor to Twitter, was unverified a couple of days ago. But again, that has happened to other major accounts. In this article, they note that the comedian, the late comedian Norm Macdonald, who passed away about 7 months ago, lost his blue check mark a few weeks ago. Isn't that nice of them? The guy literally just died and they take away his blue check mark. So now everyone can pretend to be Norm Macdonald's, you know, RIP memorial account. According to Bloomberg News, Musk had to lock down Twitter's source code after buying the site due to fears of internal sabotage. And of course, we had the Project Veritas leaked audio of them freaking out about it. We had the Twitter lawyer who was instrumental in banning Trump, who was likely behind the banning of Zero Hedge when they put out information regarding the COVID lab leak origin, literally crying, bawling her eyes out in a meeting at what might happen, at God forbid, free speech being allowed. And then, of course, we have other things. Gets into it in this article. We have the Washington Post coming out and saying 2 days into Musk buying Twitter, he's using his megaphone to help target Twitter employees, prompting a barrage of attacks. Again, only the left-wing mobs can dogpile and harass people on Twitter. When conservatives criticize journalists, that's massive harassment and abuse. But when the left actually does dox, harass and abuse people, well, that's just them, again, making people on the right take responsibility for their words. Baked to
Man, his whole viewpoint. I feel like Paul Joseph Watson's just, convinced. It's better than having like Tim Pool run your show while you're busy or whatever the hell Alex Jones has going on, but lordy. See if anything else hit the news cycle before we bounce up out of the jockey portion of the program, where we just bring you guys current events and our opinions on them and discuss. It's possible, Graph, that the algorithm has changed on Twitter. I've noticed nothing different, personally. But my presence is so small on Twitter, it's single digit. So I don't know. I wouldn't know. Okay, so we have a little bit more on the, now PBS NewsHour came out with bracing for a prolonged war. Biden asks Congress for $33 billion in aid. We already know that Russia has said that if Americans keep aiding Ukraine, it could risk World War III, which rough attitude to take. Musk is an entrepreneur for sure. I don't think that there's necessarily been an algorithm change to, make it seem like they aren't being biased toward conservative creators. I think that conservative fans have flocked back to Twitter. We have the failing of Truth Social. We have Elon Musk's purchase. We have Elon Musk being outwardly conservative friendly and really pushing that free speech thing, which, yeah, if I wanted to keep crazy numbers, I would feed right into that too, because it's easy numbers. I don't think that's we would hear more about, we've already heard the exposés from the people who write software for Twitter, and they're not complaining about that specifically. But maybe that's because what they did was a crime and they're covering it up. I'm not so naive as to leave that out as a possibility, but I just don't see there being a massive algorithm change without there being specific leaks about it. That company's been pretty Swiss cheese with its amount of just leaks, and it's been fairly transparent, this whole buyout for Elon Musk. We've heard a lot of behind the scenes from it. I've read a few different exposés now from people who have announced that they will no longer be working for Twitter once the buyout is complete. So we'll see what's going on with that. What up, Alley Cats? It's been a minute.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, pretty good. How are you doing?
I just got a job offer.
Oh, heck yeah, lady. For what? What you gonna be doing?
Finally, like a brand strategy, but full time for a startup here in Denver. Kind of the charge and having equity, and it's just a small business, but online e-commerce sales are booming, and they just want to let me do stuff. So I'm so excited.
Dang straight. That sounds like a perfect spot for you. Brand strategy, man. You'll take them into success. I'm guaranteed. I guarantee
But
it.
I can't wait. I cannot wait for a challenge, and it's a good, small company with great down to earth people with good values. It's just gonna be so fun.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. I hope everybody's on an up. It feels like everything's a lot better than it was when I left for everybody.
Finally, yeah.
It's so good to hear. So good to hear that. All I'm missing now is hearing from John B and Erica. Where's John B and Erica?
Erica.
We need them. I need them in here, but maybe they're busy. Maybe they got something going on. I know they will hear this because my times have changed. I don't know if you've noticed that. I stream when I can. Yeah, working for a theater, so
that's so cool.
Yeah, really cool nonprofit company and all that. They're really cool. It's really nice. I've launched new merch. Allie, did you see it?
Oh, sick.
Did you see it? It's summertime influence. Fine. There's swimsuits, there's tie-dyes, there's t-shirts that are $19.99.
Nice. Well, once I get a paycheck again, I'm going to be rocking it.
Damn straight. If anybody's looking for a tie-dye, hit up your boy. I got it for that tie-dye price.
Sick.
Don't pay no $50 for another YouTuber's merch. Hit me up. I got you. Unless you live in like Bangladesh. I don't know, it might cost more to get it to Bangladesh. I don't know how much the shipping and handling is if you're in the middle of nowhere.
Good call.
Shout out Rins in the Netherlands. Or Zimmy in Italy.
Caveat.
Yep. I'm pretty sure you UK cats will be fine. We're negotiating new trade deals with y'all right now. So still got the classics in the merch store though. So but
nice. I can't wait actually to be able to do that sort of stuff.
That's how I've felt. I'm like around the corner from a payday too, where hopefully Lux and I can maybe spring to get something out of the store ourselves. Because I just digitally throw that stuff up. I haven't ordered anything yet. It's so new.
Well, we'll have a virtual cheers in our new gear one day soon.
Oh heck yeah. And anybody who managed to get that limited edition Merctus hoodie, I guess that was so precious and hot off the press, people didn't get theirs, including myself.
Yeah.
Shipping discount if we get more than one tie-dye? I believe so. I can try to set up something, but I don't have any shipping discounts set up right now because I'm fairly new to this situation I've got going on with the Vibes line. Because I was frustrated with what I had going on before. Like, I didn't understand things, and so I've revamped everything, but I didn't see a place to even, because you guys know I would have add Merc or Thick Biggie as like a product code and get some cheaper shipping and handling.
Hell yeah.
But damn it, I can't find a place to do that yet. I'm sure I will. Once sales have happened enough, I'm sure they offer something like that, but I think
I'm about to go through some serious e-commerce training myself, so I can't wait to learn. They're going to pay for it all, so I'm excited.
Ooh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Graf says, tell the wife she's home soon. Oh, heck yeah, Graf. Yeah, snatch him up, man. The tie-dyes I'm going to run limited. So it's going to go into the summertime, but then we're going to pull the plug on the tie-dyes at some point. I think there's a limited run from the supplier. But Vibes is embroidered in the shoulder, guys. It's high quality. I don't know why I'm so impressed by that, but I love it so much. Been so hyped for it.
Yay, I am now that I'm capable, but almost capable of within reach for me now. I'm so excited.
I got a whole bunch of music I'm working on as well, which is going to be interesting. Everything from the last year, basically. COVID shut things down. I released a whole record and couldn't promote it. Like, there was I had a divorce. I moved across the country. I fired from a job. Like, I had so many things happen at one time, and while I was working on a record that the record I like rushed to get it out, got it out, and I haven't even promoted it yet. So I feel like I'm behind in my music cycle until recently. Now I feel kind of caught up, and I don't know if I need to promote the newest record or just release a new record. But
Well, once I kind of get my things dialed back in for, learning what's going on in online marketing now, and I'll be doing it for this brand anyway, maybe I can just do it for you too if you want or need.
oh, absolutely. Hey, we need to meet up in Discord and talk about once you get into the swing of things. No, absolutely. We'll stay in touch with them about that for sure.
Yeah, happy to help.
There's a whole bunch of just artistic endeavors I'm going to try to really keep going on. And Lux made a really good point the other day that I haven't really released a record since I've started the YouTube channel. There's been no, like I've done like a mixtape for the homies on this channel, but there's been nothing that I've actually like big outside of the channel release.
Well, dude.
So what's going to happen? You guys are going to see what that's like, but you're not going to see the behind the scenes. I can't pull it off, and I don't want to pull it off. So I'm just going to talk about making the record and then after it's out, I suppose, which is weird. I can't. Music streams have been impossible to pull off.
It could be like, how actors do director's cuts. You could do the same sort of thing.
Yep, that's kind of my plan. I'm just gonna chit chat about it, what's been going on. It's the Hangouts vlog style anyway, where we can all kind of catch up and talk about our days.
Yeah. And I started a new collab too on YouTube with a creator who's out of Australia, and we're kind of doing critical thinking and media literacy, but making it fun and gamified kind of thing, kind of what we want to see in the true crime space or online world and how we can like use it for good.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. I got a whole list of true crime in chats I've got schemed up. I just have to do the timelines for.
Nice.
And
she's already got a big following, and we're doing stuff on her channel. We just did our first test live stream actually last night. We're going to be doing a logical fallacy bingo kind of thing.
Ooh, I like that. A bingo's not a bad idea. I wish a news bingo would be interesting for the Hangout.
Well, we want people to do to bring in examples from what they've seen on the YouTube streets. For these logical fallacies, to see what arguments people are making and where we can find the error in the logic, or if there is one, and how to spot it quicker.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Particularly that it's helpful toward, the principles of logic.
Right.
And like you said, I like that there's a focus on media literacy, because a lot of things get misconstrued. Like the things I've heard by the water cooler are so far from reality sometimes. It's laughable how far from reality it can get because of I love that term, media literacy.
Yep. And it's, I did media studies, and it's a big passion of mine. And in this move, I unearthed a lot of my old stuff and my old stuff from college even, and it's still relevant. It's actually even more relevant now because we talked about the future landscape, and so I'm now just like, oh man, are there some prime example these days? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we need help.
There's absolutely. Well, I love the mission behind it too. You're able to have an actual mission statement, goal, purpose. One of the things I loved about, I hadn't been on the Merc Radio YouTube page in a very long time when I came back from the hiatus, and seeing an algorithm full of true crime streamers again was so crazy. There's still people on the same stories as before I went on hiatus.
Oh, dude, I know. And they're just making like some of the lamest regurgitated non-factual content. It's so hard to watch sometimes.
So hard to watch, and you are doing. I like from your format, from your concept onward, what you've got going is fluid, changes. I got a good feeling for you. That's one thing it stays interesting.
Yeah, and we want people to, we're gamifying it and with loyalty points and getting sponsors to do prizes and things, and basically we're just gonna create this like tribe of people who care about facts and care about research and being able to argue in a reasonable, responsible way without taking it to personal attacks or using fallacies like, when you end up illogically backing up your argument with something that has no basis in anything,
any reality ever. Like
right.
there's okay.
It's an illusion of an argument, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's like a whataboutism or whatever. We're kind of, we're not experts. We're just retraining our brains and practicing it, because the more you practice it, the better your reflex will be to recognize it.
Yeah. Sounds therapeutic and interesting, but also fun. I like that it's something. It's, as weird as this sounds, my generation, we really liked those I Spy books where it's an artist who's filled a room with a whole bunch of stuff, and then you have like a list of things you got to spot in this jumble of stuff.
Exactly.
There's, humans love pattern recognition, and the fact that you found a way to gamify, like, you are on it, sister. Like, you've got it. I'm very excited to see this roll out, and
we're excited, and we're open to suggestions and open sourcing. People come with ideas. We want to do a bias bingo after the fallacy bingo, just to learn some of the cognitive biases that happen in our brains, whether we know it or not, and how to recognize it when we're doing it.
Well, I'd love to be on the channel as a guest sometime too. So
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, be sure to save a seat for me once you guys are settled in and have time for something like that. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Oh, we got Stan Odie in the chat. Stan Odie's back. Maybe my man's. Where my man's at?
What? Wait.
Oh, that pulled Lux in here. Stan Odie in the chat.
Hi, Stan Odie.
What up, baby?
I gotta run anyway. I just wanted to pop in and say hi, and I'm so excited to be re-engaged. So congrats on getting back involved too.
Hey, welcome back to the Employment Club. We got this. Heck yeah.
Finally.
Heck yeah. You take it easy, Alley Cats. It was a pleasure.
You too. We'll talk soon.
Let's scoot away. That was an adorable scoot away. Oh man. Debbie says hi. Now everybody says hi again. I'm sure. Your shirt is dope.
Thank you.
I haven't seen you wear it yet.
Yeah, I think this is the first time I've worn it.
I love it.
You want to see this?
Y'all check it out.
In case you didn't know.
It's phenomenally black.
Phenomenal.
So, yeah. Love how that's just not. There's Ooh, wait. Will you hand me the Discordia? What up, Chief? Yo,
man.
Dude, guess what I found at work? The Principa Discordia. Y'all know the Discordians? I was talking about this the other day, I was talking about this last stream. How I'm everyone our age is ordained a couple different ways, but one of my favorite things in the world is being a Discordian Pope. But there's Discordians in this town, and this is the Principa Discordia. Supposed to steal it if you find it. Steal it. So if you see this book, steal it, read it. Hopefully it's still got its Pope card in it, so you can be a Pope. What's up? Check it out. It looks like this. You'll see it. They're printed cheap. Steal it. They're normally free. Oh, but Chief, how's your day been? Justin, how's your day been?
It's been alright, dude.
Heck yeah.
I'm living the dream.
How's did you get a new pad, bro?
I did. I'm in it right now.
Oh, is it sick?
It is very sick.
Hell yeah. Does it feel like you're at the top of the mountain? Like you're like, you got your castle?
It is nice, I'll tell you that. And it's a lot more damn house to keep clean, dude, and that sucks. but it's awesome. I love having a room for all my kids, dude. The house itself is obviously brand fucking new, so that's awesome. It's sweet, dude. I gotta admit, it is pretty goddamn sweet.
Yeah. Stan Odie says he misses me, and he says he's sorry for being away for a while, brother. I've been gone for 2 months. You're good. You are no worries, Stan Odie. I pulled a thick biggie and have been gone for 2 months. Oh, Alley Cats got new house and new work here too, man. I am so proud of all of us. Arianthe's in a new spot. Justin, new employment. What a crazy 2 months it's been. It's nuts. But you would ask Chief about a World War II board game. Now, is it a digital version of a board game that we might be playing?
Yeah, I'd have to get you. Well, I don't have to get you, but you could get, or I could get a game.
Okay.
And then once you have, it's actually, if you like playing board games, I guess we are on stream, right? So if you like playing board games, dude, it's called Tabletop Simulator. It's on Steam. It's $20, or I'm sure you can find it cheaper on all those weird game sites. But it's basically like thousands and thousands of dollars worth of board games and all kinds of like tabletop games. It's literally just, I don't even know how to explain it, man. It's a table.
Yeah.
And then like through the Steam Workshop you go, and they have all these mods. My $200 Axis and Allies board game I bought that we played one time is on there.
Oh, snap.
And then this game, there's so many games. Like
okay, so
board and/or card game, it's on there.
So you buy the tabletop VR or like simulator or whatever, and then it's all workshop mods, and then we can just get the right game, workshop, and then online hookup. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
I like that idea for the Hangout.
Definitely easier for grown-ups to get together and play games.
Yeah, bro.
Or kids, but mostly grown-ups buy their own games, right?
Oh no, we're gonna play some checkers and scream at each other like adults.
Like adults, like it's the park.
Like we're outside, but we're inside with microphones. Yeah. Ooh, no, I like that idea. Okay. All right, my payday is not this Friday. It is next Friday.
Oh, yes.
So, how much is that tabletop simulator? That's actually
it's standard $20, but
that's sick.
Give me just a second here, because I actually did. I guess it's good news, but I got through. I was wondering what was up. I got these bills from the power company, and they were like $100 difference, and I got them like 2 days later, right?
Whoa.
And what was I going to say? Oh, I called them, right, just to see which one, because I'm not too worried about it. Whatever the bill is, I just want to know what the number is,
Yeah.
And I called them, and they're like, "Yeah, you owe us $27.30," and the bills were like $198 and like $249.
What the hell?
I was like, "Can you go ahead and check?" I said, "Check around and make sure that I only owe you $27."
Double check, bro, because I've lived rough, and I'm not playing this game with you guys. Like I'm gonna need you to look right now, Susan. Oh, dude, what? Why would they send you two?
Yeah, so I think it was because we transferred our service and stuff, and like everything's been changing. So I don't know if that was what was up or whatever. But either way,
whoever moved into your
$27 is a lot less than what it was before. So
whoever moved into your old spot's burning the shit out of some power, dude. They're just leaving lava lamps on and strobe lights, and they just leave their amplifiers on. Like animal punk rockers.
Hair dryer. There's just a hair dryer running for hours a day.
I have to leave this hair straightener on.
Right after I left, I went back and just turned everything on.
Damn.
Said, "Ha." No, I'm just kidding. I didn't do that, but that's what it feels like I did. I don't. I was all the money they say I owed them and then don't. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, dude.
$7.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know how your renter left you. I've seen people really mad at the front office for Lindsay and just decide that they know that when their power gets shut off, it's going to be folded over into the complex, right? And so you'll see like an extra $100-$200 sometimes. Like, damn, dude, why'd they do that?
Why you do this to me?
Why did they do that? Why I walk in, everything's on, all the blinds are ruined. You know, like something like that. Like, damn. Because then you go in there late because you think someone's in there still moving because all the blinds are off and it's bright as hell. You know, it's definitely not empty. But sometimes it's like, and then you always find the story out like, oh, well, someone in the office was a straight up asshole. And that's why they left on bad terms. Oh. Who's Trevor Reed? Is that the guy? Oh, he was captured in Ukraine, wasn't he? Right? Well, he's back home. Man, so happy for everybody. And Stan Odie, we've missed you. I've missed you. I've got faster beats that I want to send you for some raps. So I've got a bunch of rap work for you to do if you're down. By a bunch, I mean one beat specifically I want to send you. It's posted on my Instagram if you want to see it. Or if you even want to sample it from there and just rap over it. Turn that 8 bars into 16 and throw me a fresh ass 16. I need 3 16s from you, Stan Odie, specifically. And yeah, fuck it, I'll talk about it live right now. So up in those DMs, Stan Odie, I need your raps. I don't want to do it. Don't make me do it. My voice has been tore up. Oh, Allie feeling like herself again. I too feel like myself again. It was a rough. Glad I didn't show you guys what that was like. Lost. I didn't have anything to say. Still getting back in the swing of it though. Man, I'm kind of pumped to turn the Hangout into maybe we have just in the second half of the show we do board games. I would love to run a D&D campaign. Damn it. You know, we're slowly building a format for this show where it's like Hangout, we jockey the news, we check on Alex Jones. We do just hang out for a couple hours. So it'd be cool to have something like that. Play poker with people. How would that work? I'd be cheating. People could cheat off if they can see my cards. Oh, hell yeah, Stan Odie. Yes, cool. I believe I still got your email and all that, so I'm just going to send you what I got and just keep making stuff that's like faster. But again, if you have a vocal setup at home, just throw me, throw it over it, send it back to me, and let's get a mixtape released together. Just start flexing. Who knows, bro, at some point. Yeah. I've got functionally a DJ set up, so maybe one day we could do a Merc X Stan Odie X Merc show. We could just do a straight up show. Oh, she just did it. Oh, hell yeah, Graf. News about your daughter Kimberly, Graf, doing the TEDx. Yeah, boy. I wish I could show that on the stream. Ooh, I wish I could show that on the stream. So fascinated by some of the different fields of some of the different intellects that have shown up in this Discord and on the YouTube chat. You guys are fascinating. Why you like listening to a schmuck like me is endearing. It's very sweet. I'll never understand it. TEDx is great, man. I've been watching the TED Ed, the animated kind of short TED stuff. Those little TED animations get my mind kind of just moving in the right spot, moving in the right direction. Like, they get me thinking broadly about theology. They get me thinking broadly about any topic they cover. History. Think a lot about conquest, because it's that's one of the most interesting topics when you're talking about history, and something that Chief and I have built a series on. Really, we're going to conquer Earth and then space. So just think a lot about conquest. And then sometimes you see the shadows or like the echoes of conquest in certain historical events. I was watching The Crown with Lux, and you said Princess Alice of Denmark and Greece, born in Windsor Castle on her deathbed. And it's kind of the last of that.
Who's on her deathbed?
Princess Alice, Prince Philip's mother, in The Crown.
Oh, yeah.
But maybe it just made me think about like the last Byzantine dream, like the last Germanic influence in the Mediterranean, like that monarchical rule, that post Queen Victoria stuff, kind of the last, bit of that I think we, like that for sure was like, it's over. That's over. There's no House Battenberg. There's no, that Byzantine dream is long dead. Called Istanbul, baby. It's
That's right.
It's called Istanbul.
Nobody's business but the Turks.
Nobody's business but the Turks. And just think a lot about conquest. That I see the hand of conquest moving in even that historical event sometimes, like to know something broadly. And I really feel like just the older I've gotten, the more I've explored world history and anthropology and just humans. You see like the shadows or the echoes of conquest and everything. Meditate on why we're here. Because we ran out of fish in the North Sea. And our ancestors said, we're going to go take some fish. We're going to rape everything. We're going to conquer everything. We don't conquer, we're going to leave our genes there. Which, even my own ancestry.com, it's like you see conquest. A lot of people descended from Genghis Khan. It's jaw-dropping. Chief, did you hear, this is a weird news story. I don't know if anyone else on planet Earth heard this. They've moved an albino orangutan and a few other albino endangered primates to their own little island, purchased with money from donators. It's monitored, it's small, it's a forested island, and there's just straight up a white, blue-eyed orangutan there.
What?
Yeah, bro.
That's pretty crazy.
Let's see. The world's only albino orangutan. Orangutan. I always say it wrong. Boy, I'm not trying to get in trouble with any of these fools. Yes, he was most recently moved to its own dope-ass island. What do we got here? Some Inside Edition. I think Inside Edition has problems with this. Let's go back to Channel 4. Hold on. The only reason I think like Channel 4 or the BBC doesn't mess with us is because I think Debbie pays her TV tax.
Probably.
Like, Debbie doesn't watch live TV. Dang! Maybe someone else is. Maybe it's because I simped for the queen. She's a princess. But anyway, Chief, yeah, sorry. Albino orangutans. There's one, and she has her own island.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
You know what I mean? Like that's awesome. We've come a long way as humans. Come a long way. Double check one more time. Anything change here? All right, nothing much. Man, anyone else watching Moon Knight?
I have not.
Guys, it's great. It's good. I love Moon Knight. The last episode was great. They've all been great so far. Keeping up with that, just, really great Marvel series experience, I think. It's different. That's kind of what I like about this Moon Knight series. It's almost like contained, but this last episode they straight up mentioned like the ancestral plane from Black Panther, which is cool. Like, they've just established in the show that in that movie universe there's like a lot of different places an untethered soul can just go or end up, Sanodi finished Peacemaker.
It would make sense that they would do that in the Marvel stuff because the fact that they draw so much from Norse mythology and there's more underworlds and afterlives in the Norse mythology than I can count.
Yeah, right? Like that's, you're kind of locked into having to explain that at some point, and to be able to do all of this is really cool. I was also wondering because in the comics, with the Ennead, the ancient Egyptian gods in the comics, like Bast, the panther goddess, is one of them. So like the Black Panther, like the panther that they worship is legit part of the Ennead. I don't know if they've kind of made it out like they're at least friends with the Ennead, because there's a character now introduced from Egyptian mythology in the MCU, Tawaret, who straight up, that's the character that brings up the ancestral plane. Kind of explains to the audience like, oh, there's a lot of different places your soul can end up. It's one of many afterlives. There's a lot of different places you can go. And it's extra kind of, there's a layer to it to me that I'm glad they're playing into a little bit, and that's the fact that Mark Spector, the main character of Moon Knight, played by Oscar Isaac, is a Jewish character. He was a Jewish character in the comics, and they finally reveal in this last episode, like, no, he was raised Jewish in Chicago. And, the fact that he has willingly made himself the servant of an Egyptian god is pretty, like, that's as close to devil worship as you can really get for that belief system. So, like, it's supposed to be heavy as hell. The fact that he's the Moon Knight at all. And I feel like they're catching that heft like they should.
Well, I guess I know what I'm going to have to start watching this weekend.
Dude, Moon Knight's worth it. It's a ride too. It's, Mark Spector is schizophrenic, so there's more than Oscar Isaac is playing more than Mark Spector. He's playing Stephen Grant. There's also Khonshu living in his mind, so you hear and see the god Khonshu, the Egyptian god of the moon. And the way they do him in the show is super cool. The CG's good, in my opinion. There's pretty decent stunt and fight work. It's nothing, I don't think anything will beat that first season of Daredevil that came out on Netflix. Like, when it comes to fight choreography, like, there's just scenes in that
The Rurouni Kenshin live action.
Ooh, that, okay. Yeah, outside of Marvel, yes. Yeah. And
that's like the one thing that I could think that tops that.
Yeah, the new Michelle Yeoh piece, what is it? Everywhere, all the time, all at once, or whatever. Or Everywhere, all the time. That new kung fu flick looks great. There's a few, yeah, but like they need to bring those people into the MCU. There's even moments in Shang-Chi where I was like, I don't know if Kung Fu movie me is like okay with that shot, because they kind of fell back on CG, and I know the dude they cast to play Shang-Chi could really do it. And it's like, well, why not just have him do it? I don't know. Why not throw his ass up on some wires?
Want to put the bill for the fancy insurance.
Oh yeah, like he said no to wires that day. Multiverse of Madness looks crazy. The trailers for that are popping. These Marvel movies look like they're going to be great. The Love and Thunder trailer was great. Excited for the future of the MCU, man. I wrote specifically on my notes for today, Moon Knight. Bring up Moon Knight. I'm having a great time. And Lux, enjoying it. You know, I feel like we've watched all the MCU series together now. And I feel like that's your favorite one.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah. She digs it. It's her favorite one.
The suit, I really liked the suit first and foremost, but then like discovering how Oscar Isaac, like the character.
Drop the mic on my chest. Trying to get it closer to Lux. Sorry.
I like it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I think they could hear you. She loves Moon Knight. It's great. That suit is like, I wasn't expecting them to go full mummy with it. And the fact that the, you know,
crescent.
yeah,
Goes,
the Khonshu battle armor is actually like mummification.
that's S tier.
Yeah.
Makes the suit make a lot more sense now, because I didn't know anything about it. So whenever I kept seeing the advertisements for it, I would just see the suit, and I was like, "Why does he look like a mummy?"
Why does he look like a mummy? Yeah, and it's because it's technically like ceremonial battle armor from Khonshu's temple. You know, like there's but the suit that gets summoned on the avatar of Khonshu has to do with their mindset. So you'll also see like the very popular Mr. Knight suit is what it's kind of referred to by fans of the comic books. It's a Moon Knight outfit, but it's like a fancy white suit. It's really clever, in my opinion, how they do it in the Moon Knight series. Like they explain that, like, you know, Stephen Grant used Khonshu's power to put a suit on, but it wasn't the right suit. Like, it's still a super suit, but it's not. It's his super suit, yeah. But it's interesting. You have like Ego and Id, and I think there's a third personality going on. So you have episodes, a couple of episodes, entirely from only one of his personalities. Yeah, he's got dissociative identity disorder. So, you know, a lot of people going on in Oscar Isaac's head in this series, but
He's doing really well.
he's doing well. The way they do it is phenomenal. I think their framing devices, the way they're letting the audience know that we've switched characters, and the way they establish how this character lives inside of this person's mind. They're doing things I wish they would do with the Hulk. You know, like in my mind, some of my favorite Hulk stories, they have this character device where, you know, the Hulk and Banner are actively talking to each other through mirrors or reflections. You know, like Banner goes to see himself and the Hulk is there and is like, give me the body, you know, like, and I'm going to keep that body. So they're building a really cool, like, way to film that with this series. And I hope they go there. You know, we got this She-Hulk series coming up. And they've cast Charlie Cox, Daredevil from the Netflix verse. That's kind of my favorite revelation of all of these series so far, is the inclusion of the Daredevil wing of the Netflix series in this new wave of Marvel content. As flawed as it was, they brought a lot of fan favorite characters into the Defenders. Like, I love Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Daredevil. Like, I love it. Oh yeah, and the Punisher was there. He had his own series. He's not a Defender, but he was there. And Barenthal as the Punisher, I thought was great. Bring them all back, except Danny Rand. Recast Danny Rand.
I was a fan of Peacemaker too.
Oh, Peacemaker is great. Oh yeah. Stanody said he just finished it.
Yeah.
That was a good time. We gotta. Should we do a review for the last half of that?
Oh, that's right.
We reviewed
started
the
one,
first
didn't
3
we?
episodes of it.
We
Yeah.
started one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Oh, you're not on that. Hold on. Let me. Can I remember
It's
this
okay.
one? Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm fine either way.
As long as you can be heard.
Yeah.
Oh, the end of Peacemaker.
Mhm.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. James Gunn though. He always brings the heat. James Gunn is great. Been great since Slither. Slither's gross. But I remember years ago I got caught on a couch watching Slither and just stayed there. You know, like could it like a party started or something and it turned into like shh, Slither's on, bitch. Like this is great. Worms. It's arachnophobia but gross with worms. So excited about it. Oh. Had quite the workout today at work.
Yeah,
But I feel like we crushed it.
you did. I liked it. It looked good.
Yeah. We said I helped.
I know he said this
set
earlier.
up
He
the
works at
theater.
a venue. I work at the same venue. I want to be clear there. We see each other everywhere all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. Yeah. So kind of become.
I'm about to step inside and eat dinner. But there's a link in your Discord chat, and you should be able to follow it and sign in, and it should give you a Steam gift.
Ooh.
From me. So it's not. It shouldn't be anything weird.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I was just letting you know, but I'm gonna do that, and then I'll come back in and say hello and stuff when I'm done eating dinner.
Well, thank you so much, brother.
No problem, dude. I'll see you soon.
Yeah. Excited to open the Steam gift, gang. Yeah. Trying to convince Lux to get back in the stream game herself.
I'm thinking about it. I feel so busy all the time.
Yeah.
When I'm actually playing, I feel very tired.
You don't feel busy all the time. You are busy all the time. We're busy all the time.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
It's taken me a while to get used to what's going on.
But I think we can pop. I think we should just start popping that sucker open so you can at least show off your swag. Oh my goodness, is that your Discord?
Yes, it is. I don't know if you guys care about this at all, but I play Valorant a lot. That's what
Is
it's
it
called,
pronounced Valorant?
I think so, yeah.
I've been saying
I'm just
Valorant.
happy, yeah. The
We're
way my
Southern.
brain reads it, yeah, it's Valorant to me. Yeah, I main Viper, and that cute little chibi profile picture on my Discord is what it is right now.
Adorable.
I forgot that was it until you said something.
I say you stream anytime you're playing one of those games, and when we're playing Grand Theft Auto. I think.
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Those are my two main games right now.
You're the gaming side of things, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna start tabletop board gaming and stuff with Chief on the Hangout. Hopefully,
That's cool.
yeah, I'm excited about it. Maybe play some. That's one of the ideas I had written down was like board games ? Card games. Like,
Yeah.
is there anything that offers Monopoly, checkers, chess, like something that we can, you know? I've got Who Wants to Be a Millionaire from 2007 for Game Boy Color. If anybody wants to jam that.
That's funny.
No, we've had a create on top of everything the last 2 months. We've also had an incredibly busy work schedule. So
Yeah.
you've had an incredibly busy work schedule in particular.
Oh, it's been a lot.
Yeah,
I'm genuinely still trying to find work-life balance.
yeah. It's hard there. It's hard in entertainment to find that.
Yeah.
I'm noticing. I think everybody deals with that.
Mhm.
Notice it's a common theme amongst everybody.
The sacrifices have to be made one way or the other. So like
Yeah,
your time
yeah.
is just
Show has to go on.
you gotta
kind of stuff.
gotta make it happen.
Yeah.
Period.
Show has to go. Yeah.
That's kind of how I've always looked at it.
Yeah. A bus with a famous person is going to show up.
Yeah.
you better be ready.
Yeah.
Like, and
One
yes,
way or another, they're
sometimes
showing up.
things feel that close.
Yeah.
Sometimes things feel cutting it that close.
Yeah. Sometimes we are cutting it that close.
Everyone is that way, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's just that way at any venue, any operation. It's cool though, we're at a place that's like feels like a genuine arbiter of culture, like a genuine like, you know, culturally relevant cool spot. Man, I got the set list from the Whalers last night.
Oh yeah.
No Bob Marley.
No Bob Marley.
But the Whalers were in town last night. Managed to score one of the set lists from one of the members. We had a few actually. We ended up taping one way. We're decorating a wall downstairs.
Oh, are
the
you?
stage. Yeah. Well, I'm not. Eddie is.
Oh.
But we both kind of are, I guess. If we just find more than one cool poster thing, or if it's a poster that nobody particularly wants to take home, we've been throwing it up on the wall.
If you want a poster,
Oh, I
you
know.
can just tell me.
Snatch it day of show.
Yeah. I mean, I know where they are.
Same.
Like, there's-
Well, you know where they are before they're hung up.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, well, I mean, we still print some for like the theater because obviously we try to get signatures from everybody that comes through.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we usually print a few in advance.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I got my Coheed poster.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Gotcha. It's
I got to see Coheed and Cambria this year.
that was
because
such a
of my
cool-
career.
That was such a cool set.
Yeah.
Coheed and Cambria.
That's still probably one of the bigger highlights for my career is that I created the link where people bought and then it sold out.
Yeah.
And then the show happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like no, you did. Yeah. Like you watched it all
I
happen like from link creation to sold out.
Brag all that I can about that because that was probably one of my favorite shows that I've ever done.
This is coming
It's
from
also one of my favorite bands, so I was really excited to be able to go, and it was such a great set.
It's coming from a couple
Beautiful
that
set.
recently both worked Pixies.
I know. We did Pixies
we
too.
did Pixies.
We did Tech
You
Nine.
did the fuck out of Pixies. Tech Nine was cool too.
Yeah.
Tech Nine was cool. Everything's better than ICP. Man, is that a rough concert to have to deal with? But oh, the Queen crushes it, man. She's
loves swimming in Lake Fago.
Oh, I was not there.
There are parts of that theater that still smell like Diet Root Beer Fago.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just it's never.
Some of it, well, yeah, some of it seeped through through the stage, didn't it?
Yeah, it puddled
It was
up. Yeah,
so weird.
Yeah, it hit some of the chairs and
It's
stuff.
horrifying.
Yeah, it was bad. It soaked through the stage.
A lot.
ICP was so much, so extra. But man, let me tell you, today's cleanup was chill as hell. The Whalers, it was like old people, you know, and hippies from the college and stuff. Catch that festival crowd out here, you know, that crowd that makes me homesick, Justin. You know, I'm talking mushroom people.
I know the ones.
Les Claypool fans. That's the best way to describe a particular crowd. Like that's Les Claypool fans. You could shout out like a bizarre festival only Les Claypool act, and they'll be like, oh hell yeah, dude, I was there for that. No photos. I live in a bus. No. I love the concert crowds. That's been.
I forgot about the no photo rule.
Oh, dude.
My girlfriend got in trouble once because someone's hand was in there in a picture.
What?
Yeah, it was at like a makeshift burn festival.
Oh yeah, dude. That drives me nuts with the you know, some artists come through and they insist on that in the venue, and for the stand-up comedians especially, I understand it. Because you can never tell if somebody's catching video or not, and The venue we're at catches a lot of stuff that's like, this is either the first show of the tour, or this is a straight up warm up show. Like, or this is like straight up like we're flying by the seat of our pants warm up show, and then the tour starts. Like, and so there's like Patton Oswalt was a good example of somebody who had a lot of material that is going to be on a special, and he's still working it out. So he's not gonna. There's no tolerance. You cannot film it. Steve-O was one of those that's like, it's a multimedia experience. So he's literally playing stuff with A, X-rated levels of male nudity, and B, graphic content that you barely could hit a DVD. You know, like you can't just film that at the venue. So like there's like some people, I understand it. There's times though where it's like, I feel like you'll see a crazy writer or something from a band that's like, but you've sold 30 tickets.
Sorry, she's stuck somewhere.
Oh.
That's why she's. What are you doing?
Cat's been tripping all afternoon. Hope she's all right. I've already forgotten what the act is tonight. I won't lie. I set the theater up beautifully for something, and I don't remember what it is. Something where it's seated and standing, so you get especially these GA floors where you get a little dance pit, but then they also throw some chairs in case old people want to sit. It's cool. Buffett fans are hilarious, Alley Cats, dude. I've been dressing like a Jimmy Buffett fan when I'm off work lately. A straight up parrot head isn't that what they're called? Parrot heads. I'm only aware of kind of the deep parts, the deeper terminology from the Buffett crew because of Hunter S. Thompson. Apparently Hunter S. Thompson and Jimmy Buffett were tight, so listen to a lot of them talk about each other, but not a lot of Jimmy Buffett's music. It's not my jams. Not my jams. Man.
At the bar I worked at in Branson, the band that played almost every day had the same set list, and there were more Jimmy Buffett songs than not.
Damn, dude. Look, yeah, when you're like a house band, or the regular's so hard that you are a house band, you gotta keep that set list revolving, or you're gonna lose your minds yourselves. I don't know how those people did that every night. That's crazy.
I feel like it was either someone that worked at the bar or it was the owner of the bar himself.
Man.
I guess he just really loved Jimmy Buffett songs.
Yeah. The amount of gigs available around here make me really, 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 really want a band again. Like, really bad. But, oof.
I'd say do it, but bands are hard.
Yeah, they really are. Well, I guess it wouldn't be a traditional band. I'd have to be bossy as fuck. So here's what we're doing. Here's when we're doing it. Here's where we're doing it. Here's why we're doing it.
You want to book just musicians for their performance, not actually necessarily.
Basically, like write music with the band. Yeah.
No, that's totally valid.
Yeah.
I am the exact same way.
Yeah, kind of become Frank Zappa. I think is what I'd like to do. Find people who are really good and add something to what I've brought to the table. But again, you don't necessarily have to bring anything to the table if you don't want to. Everyone's got day jobs, like. But here's what the gig is,
Here's the song, play it. If you want to change something, let's talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely open to it too. I love changing stuff day of too, or experimenting day of. Like, hey, we're gonna stretch this part out or turn this into a jam. Love it. You've been in a band with me and Dalton, Justin. You know what I'm talking about. Day of changes the songs.
Well, there was the time that you had me come up on stage and do vocals on a song that we hadn't really discussed. I get it.
Dalton and I have
I wasn't even in the band anymore.
we had straight up like blocked out a song and then gone up and just done it. Like no rehearsal. We talk like just a discussion between 3 people, and then we'll go up in there and be like, all right, this is happening now. This is a different track. You thought you knew this song. It's not. No, you don't. No, you don't. I love being tight enough with musicians. You can kind of pull that off too. Like it's not rare in my experience. Just I don't play well with others, so I feel like I don't know. It's a lot easier to get to that, I would imagine, if you already have the music in front of you. But I felt like working with Brian Capillas changed the game for me. Like that, seeing how he essentially runs a band when he has material that he has a vision for his material and he brings it to the table. And things can change, things can grow, things can bloom off of it, but there's kind of a foundation already, and it makes things so much smoother. And I think I'm at the point where it's like I've got hundreds of tracks stashed back, a lot of songs, so I can.
Is that where's Lawrence?
Yeah. And he would pull crazy stuff. He would show up with a whole record, basically written that he did like the night before. He played for you acoustic, like there were tracks off of The Boy in the Well. It's like he showed up and like one time I was smoking weed with 2 homies of mine, and he just called me, said, "Hey, I have some music I want to show you. Can I come by and play it?" Yeah. He came by and played us like the majority of the record that turned into The Boy in the Well. And yeah, like it was already there, like right there it is. There's the record, Where do we go with that? Let's add 7 other people and see what we get. And that's some of the stuff I miss and I've been craving is live arrangement, things like that. I do love to arrange live. I love to, like, when you're the kind of communication between some of the more like a lot of different elements in Where's Lawrence, where it was fun to be able to have a little bit of experience and theory and being in a garage rock band. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of communicate to every angle of an act like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like we got a guitar player that's kind of from the rock world. We got Severin, who's mandolin and auxiliary percussion from grassroots world. We've got 2 violin players from the U of A.
Didn't he also play like power metal at one point in time?
Justin or Severin? Severin did for sure play power metal. Yeah, definitely played power metal with
Okay.
That's how we met.
Yeah, I was thinking that's what that band was.
I'll never forget it. The first time I saw him play a guitar, it was a dinky like Steve Vai Ibanez. It was like a dinky GR Ibanez or some stuff. Like it was something like that. Like a dinky, I think it was a dinky GR. It wasn't the Steve Vai. And dude,
I remember when he was having to play the tiny guitar for a little bit.
yeah, that's the one I'm talking. He's playing a little like dinky. Yeah. That was the first time I'd ever seen him play guitar. And I thought like, wow, he's getting a lot of tone out of that that tiny ass guitar for children. He also had a shirt on that said High School Cock, which was hilarious.
Pretty on brand.
Was it hilarious?
It was hilarious. We're all underage. We're all underage at the time, so it's like that's funny as shit.
Bad words on a shirt, bro.
Bad words on a shirt in a church venue. Which is always, because that's half the venues back then. Like it's a church that's shut down on a Saturday.
Half the fucking venues now still.
Yeah, dude.
God damn it, having a monopoly on the venue business.
I was telling a friend at work the other day about like the weirdest band tryout I ever had was in a church venue that was after hours.
Same.
But the song I played to kind of show them my guitar skill was fucking Rain and Blood. I just played Slayer in a church. Like that was genuinely a tryout I've had. Slayer in a church. And yeah. Boy, the amount of bands that I've hopped in that didn't turn out to be nothing. Love when people blame me for that.
Sounds like most bands, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Most bands turn out to be nothing, which is it's life.
This is life. Yeah.
Just life, baby.
What do you get? I got.
Sometimes the world's not ready for your greatness, and sometimes somebody does something that gets themselves in big trouble, and you guys are done.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
Yeah. We end up with my problem where it's like you're in an area that's very it's very Zeppelin riffs for beer money, and they're not really cool with the are you guys ready to soft rock vibe? You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't get the fuck out of here with the yacht vibes. Nobody wants to hear that shit here.
Well, I mean, fucking places got to make money, I guess.
Yeah.
But y'all did pretty good shit.
Where's Lawrence good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
bar rock and metal here.
Yeah, where's Lawrence good? I just mean like after that. Like like what Merck doesn't do anything really outside of you guys in Arkansas, you know.
Oh yeah.
Which no complaints there.
You just got to make a bunch of stickers and mail them to some kid you know on campus.
Right. Well,
that's all you got to do, bro.
I mean, I can get back on the campus radio there because I was exiled for a while because someone I hate was working as like head of the damn campus radio for forever. So I went from heavy play on college radio to like none. With one senior class, you know what I mean? Like, fucking college radio, you gotta wait 4 years if you fucking someone you hate's in the fucking seat, and then they're gone. But so I had like two.
Good news, it's only 4 years.
Yeah. Is it? I guess. Well, and you forget there's other colleges too. So like, I
just popped back in my head. You remember that time me, you, and John were going down to work, and we're fucking ripped, dude, in my Impala, and we're driving up 112, and I pull into that gas station to grab something, and I get out, and it's fucking like beyond closed. It's like not open for business anymore. and I get out and turn around, and I just see you and John's face looking at me, dude, and a mixture of like worried and scared that we're gonna get in trouble, or like this is a dead giveaway that we're all stoned as shit, and just laughing so fucking amused.
Oh,
This fucking place.
You would have thought once you got close to that building that it was a museum for dead gas stations. Like, what the fuck is this?
And I just pull right in, dude, and start to get out like I'm gonna go in there and fucking buy something, dude.
It wasn't until you were out of the car that it had hit me. That's what it was so funny about it, was I felt like I had the reaction with you, like, this bitch is dead.
This bitch is dead as fuck, dude. They ain't buying shit from here. Guess I'm gonna go make myself 2 pizzas and a sandwich before work.
Yeah, God. I've been dreaming about Chartwell's food lately. I was just talking about Chartwell's food. Take some chicken chunks and put it in the broccoli cheddar soup, baby. Like, there's times damn cat. There's times I'm near a place that smells like it's got some Chartwell's food in it. And I'm like, man, I want this and that, but that's not something you can order because it's just some shit we would make it work.
Yeah, I can't order this.
I can't order.
I have to have access to a full kitchen's worth of food for this.
And then they would drop the same kind of bullshit I would, like, I can't ring that up. Like, you know, like, that's a reason not to do something complicated. But
yeah.
Oh man, I'm about to get back into the cooking side of things. Just fucking food budget reasons.
Cook for me.
I'm cooking again, man. We got Zimmy pasta on the menu, dude.
Oh, Zimmy pasta.
It changed the way I make pasta. Still, I still don't like. I think we've
still delicious.
I think we've hit a can of ragu like once. Like a jar of ragu, like once for specifically like the I'm from the South spaghetti, but
spaghetti soup.
Yeah, but like what, man? The Zimmy recipe. That's just how I do spaghetti now. Jam. It's the jam.
It's so good.
We got to get him back on here to talk about some stuff. Now I'm not on early enough to really catch Zimmy, so it's like we gotta stay in contact with him. But the European Murkies, I might have to do something hella late night. Maybe next time I do like a crazy, weird late night shift or something, I'll catch it after the shift. I don't know. if I have the energy. Sometimes I'll catch a shift where it's like I have to be up to like 3 a.m. because I got off at like 2.
Oh yeah.
You know, like it's like I'm not gonna go to sleep at 2:30.
Mm-hmm.
Go to sleep at 3 or 4. But
yeah,
I'm normally pretty jazzed after those shifts. So I love security though.
Yeah.
Watch people fight.
It gets a little crazy over there.
Break up a fight. Calm people down with your words. You know, it's great. Pat downs. I pat people down. When I'm down by their waist, I say, "All right, cough," and then it cracks every big dude up. Any dude that seemed nervous about the pat down is now laughing. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like you might as well just say, "Dude, it's okay as long as it's not a fucking big old bottle of booze that's glass."
Exactly.
I ain't gonna find it.
Yeah. I'm just making sure you're not trying to, smuggle in a whole bunch of cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a brick or like a weapon, If it's a nice little baggie in your pocket, bro, you're fine. I'll feel it and give you a wink.
Homie went to tip his cap walking out of the venue after after a very big Latin show.
Oh yeah.
For a radio station called La Caliente. He was walking out and he tipped his cowboy hat at a dude I work with, and just a straight up little baggie of cocaine fell out of it. And he was already outside of the venue. And so security guy just says, "I don't think you want to leave that behind." Snatches it up. Gracias.
Thank you.
Runs up. It's like, that was a wild ass show, dude. Oh, we got another Latin event tomorrow. Oh, there's not even a show tonight at the Rialto. That's why I don't remember what's going on.
No, it's not.
I didn't mean to say that.
Makes sense.
But at the venue. Oof. Back in streaming world.
Mm-hmm.
I've about called Lux her real name like 8 times.
Which is weird because half the time I don't even remember my real name.
I know. Same here. Same here. It's not until I'm under pressure that I'm like...
Like, I answer to it at work, but at the same time, I'm like, that is not... Like,
well,
I'm
people
having a
ask
weird
about
time.
you all the time at work, so I do
Oh,
have to address you as I am... It is hard for me. I do talk about you with one name all day. Like, oh, well, Lux said to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Or Lux said it's this much.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm at the bottom of the totem pole,
Speaking
so we don't move unless we have info from Lux, who is at the top of the totem pole.
That's what I meant to ask you earlier. Did they ever situate the other venue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I know that last
Rick did
night.
that solo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Good.
Ricky Too Rich did that by himself, dude. He did a whole venue by himself. He has no problem crushing. They probably did that in the green room back to back.
Well,
which I'm assuming the green room wasn't bad, because if it was bad, I hear about it.
lo and behold,
I hope.
your supervisor had his own family emergency today.
Damn.
So he wasn't even there. That's why I was wondering, because I didn't know if he had a chance to tell them.
It was, and we went a little over what he had requested, because just for the sake of like symmetry and looks.
Yeah.
So it's a good day for him to have had an emergency. I hate that he had an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. Supervisor. That's not what we should call him for that shift.
I know, but you knew who I was talking about.
I'm also going to start referring to the cleanup shifts as going to the gym. Like if it's shared.
He's doing CrossFit, y'all.
Yeah, it's just physical labor. I've lost weight. I feel healthier.
That's what's up. Is it hot as the devil's ball sack when you do it, or is it nice and cool? I guess it depends on what show just got out, right?
Well, I normally do the cleanup and setup well after a show, right? So there's been a nice desert evening to blow through. And the venue itself is like old, and they built the piss out of it, so it holds that cool desert night all day. And it's shaded, so in the shade here in the desert is very tolerable. There's a nice breeze normally, and you can kind of like, you really feel the breeze here, like when you're in the shade. So like we just keep the lights low in the venue, keep the doors kind of cracked, throw a fan on if we're doing something super laborious. But I've never really been like hot yet. I'm sure it gets there, because it's going to get to be like 100 80 degrees or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's nowhere near like kitchen work or anything like that when it comes to heat. I get sweaty from like the physical activity, but that's why I call it going to the gym.
Well, I think it also
Gotta
helps
lift
that
chairs and walk stairs.
most of the floor downstairs is concrete or tile.
Yeah, it's all concrete stairs.
Like the
yeah.
floor in the theater is concrete and there's nothing covering it.
No, so it's got cool
it's-
concrete.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like a cave.
Yeah.
It's like a cave. When you first walk in there and it's empty after a show and stuff, like been empty all night. It's not. Yeah, it's nice and chill. It's kind of like one giant. There's one shift that's like one giant close. Then you have like setup if you got to do chairs or something, which is like going to the gym. You just lift in like 24 pounds of chairs in each arm. Take those stairs, baby. Put them chairs. It's just over and over.
Put them up, bitch.
Yeah.
Like it's regular show or something.
It'll have you doing stupid math. Like, all right, there's 3 of us. We can each carry 4 chairs apiece. That's 12 chairs a run. We got to put 360 chairs out. That's this many goes on the goddamn staircase. I'm doing this many minimum.
Play Stairmaster.
Hits on the stairs. Yeah. You start doing like, all right, and when should I take a break? Because I do have this body is tired. But once I got like hella used to, we had a hella fat rush of shows where it felt like seated show, GA show, seated show, GA show, like back to back, where it's like I'm putting up chairs, I'm taking down chairs, I'm putting up chairs, I'm taking down chairs.
Mm-hmm.
After that, the musculature is there. I have muscles back I haven't had since I was a kid. Like the mopping's not as bad. My hands are just callous to mopping now, which hasn't been-
Callous hands from mopping. Intense, bro.
Yeah, like
I got some pretty torn up hands, but it's not from mopping floors, dude.
yeah, dude. That whole like
Son of a bitch.
doing the whole theater is a bitch. It's a lot of floor.
Yeah.
Like you're mopping.
No, it's definitely a
Yeah.
lot of floor, especially still for 3 people.
But after you've swept it too.
Yeah.
It's like you're just sweeping and then mopping. Yeah, mopping a floor. Toof. Do a lot of that. Nothing will ever be as bad as ICP though. You're looking at the man who helped clean up Lake
Ooh,
Fago.
That was your first day.
Yeah, that was the first time I saw the theater
Yeah.
dirty. Was ICP.
Yeah.
So there's not been a house party I can't unfuck, dude. That's what I say to calm one of my friends at work.
Like all of the. Oops, sorry.
Oh no, you good.
At least it makes all the times you clean up now seem a little bit easier.
Oh, so much easier, and like it'll never be that bad. Like telling a friend of mine who there was an act that left the green room particularly bad, and it's like he was mad. Yeah, we had to clean it. This just added an extra hour to his day, and he had to get the fuck out of there. He had a gig coming up, and so like I just hopped in there and started crushing shit because at this point there's not a house party I can't unfuck. I can make it look like you didn't have a barn full of people in that green room or whatever happened. The amount of cocaine that came out of the carpet after one act was alarming. You don't think that's
Whoa.
You don't
Did you
think
tell me
that's what it is? No.
Of course not.
Because I don't know who it was. Because like the main dude that night never left his bus until he was on. I will tell you, his face was on the bus.
Oh.
So you know who, yeah. So
Mhm.
one of those acts that night there were 2 different spots where you could tell people stood in dirty boots in a circle and did
Mhm.
cocaine all night. Like hardcore. Yeah, and it's like, why does it smell like ether in this room? And you're vacuuming over it. You're like, oh, because that's not flour. Why would it be flour? Why would they be cooking in here? Why would they be? Of course that is. You fucking yeah. Times I feel like a hick. Like, oh, of course they're not. Why would they? There's no oven in here. It's a fucking green room. There's a blowjob room before there's a kitchen. There is a blowjob room too.
You only call it that. It's just a damn closet.
It's got a chair in it. It's got a body length mirror. And that's it. And that's it. That's what's in it. That's about all you can fit in it. That and 2 people. So you tell me what that room's for. The room's for one thing.
It might be a mini studio. Like one of those little soundproof rooms for recording.
There's nothing on the walls.
It doesn't have to be now.
It's definitely not soundproof either. It's a blowjob room. Clearly, they're like, no, it's for people to take private phone calls. Like, yeah. Why can't it fit specifically 2 people? Why is the body length mirror in here? Big plush chair for kicking back. Like, nah, this room is for one thing. Groupies. You gotta have one. That's accommodating as all hell. That's as accommodating as something can get. Like, honestly, that's more. That's as accommodating as the super hacked arcade machine. That thing's cool. Your boss talking about getting rid of it.
I know. But my boss was also saying that they were thinking about potentially finding something cooler for it. Like to replace.
I know whatever they put there will be cool. I'm sure
Yeah.
that room will be cool. Put it in that room.
What? So that one person can fit in there with a fucking game?
What's that room there for now?
Can't even shut the door?
It's a weird BJ room. And everybody knows it. Well, gang, we're at the end of this episode of the Hangout.
Oh.
We've gone past 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I got works tomorrow.
Yep.
We got to figure dinner out.
Yep.
It's been a pleasure seeing everybody. Chief, Justin, Arianthe, if you're still with us in the chat, Allie Cattails, Stan Odie, who's going to get an email of some beats. We got to get a mixtape out. I was just bitching to myself, like, I need a rapper. And there you are. So, you don't have an option. Get ready to deal with a demanding producer. By that, I mean just no production notes. Just deadlines. Just deadlines. Oh, Graph, and of course Graph. Graph popped in here what felt like first. He might have been first commenter. Be sure to stay tuned, guys. I got new merch out. We got these tie-dyes. Hopefully things stay popping on this end and we can do some successful merch giveaways. I'm going to do some kind of testing and make sure this is actually launched proper and things get where they need to go. And then I'm going to launch more merch. This isn't the end of the line. There's going to be a whole bunch more summer stuff. If anybody has any suggestions, feel free to shoot them my way. Everybody knows where to find me on Discord, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Merc Radio everywhere. Be sure to find me. You know Iro on Twitch. Shout out Chief.
I do exist. You can hear this gravelly voice other times if you so choose.
Come check it out. Arianthe at Arianthe everywhere. Justin, Thicket Craft Forge. Everywhere. I love you guys. We're gonna roll to this outro music. If I can remember where everything is. Because the hiatus.
That's right, dude.
Anyway. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe.
Just later, everybody. Bye.